Know you love me, girl, so that I love you. Know you love me, boy, so that I love you. 3년이나 이 곁에 있어줘.
Don't cry, son. You are a good boy, right? See, Grandpa is here. Say hi to him. She sighed as she was trying to stop her grandson from crying, who is only 2 and has recently lost his mother. I'm worried about his health. He cries a lot these days. Mrs. John looked at him. Her eyes were moist. He must have missed his mother. We all do. Everything destroyed in a blink of an eye. This is a hard time for our family, but we have to stay strong. Imagine how Jungkook might be feeling. He has lost his wife. Only he can understand that pain. She nodded. Jungsua, baby, don't cry. Grandma would sing you a lullaby. Do you wanna hear? No matter how much they try, he wasn't ready to stop crying. I can't see his condition. He needs his mother's love. Jungkook came in the living room. Why is he crying? He said, coming to his mother before taking his son in his arms. He has started crying a lot lately. I'm so worried about him. Jungkook hugged his son, bringing closer to his chest while slowly caressing his back. He looked at his mother. I'll tuck him to sleep. Mrs. John nodded. Jungkook walked upstairs in his room with his son while Mrs. John sat on the couch before wiping her tears. I can't see Jungkook's condition now. He has completely changed. We have to do something, Yobo. Mr. John walked near her and patted her back. You are right. We have to do something. Jungkook came in his room humming the same song you used to sing whenever you took your son to sleep. His eyes were moist, filled with pain in the form of tears. I'm sorry, Jungsu. I'm not a good singer like your mother. If she would be here, you won't be crying like this. He hugged his son and closed his eyes, letting the tears fall down. He slowly put him inside his crib when Jungsu finally slept. He kept on looking at his son for several minutes, admiring his face because it only reminds him of you. You were right. He only looks like you, and each and every second he reminds me of you. He rested his forehead against the edge of the bed. He cried the rest of the night, hugging his knees. Your mysterious death broke everything. But what it did to Jungkook is only he can understand. He's completely broken. It's been 5 months and the happiness of this house has faded. No one can come over from the terrible incident. Mrs. John was continuously looking at Jungkook while they were having breakfast together. He was silent, just eating, not in the mood to talk to anyone. She sighed and decided to spit what's in her mind. Jungkook, he slowly lifted up his head. Yes. She looked at Mr. John, who gave a nod, and then at her son. Your dad and I want to say something to you. He stopped eating and looked at them. Yes. She inhaled deeply and continued. I know things are not good right now. We all are heartbroken after the death of Ian. Jungkook lowered his eyes. But Jungkook, it's time to recollect ourselves. We can never forget her because she was the light of this house, but we have to do something, as living like this would only make us weak every day. Jungkook, Jungsu is only 2 and he needs a mother's love. I know it would be hard for you, but please get married again for the sake of your son. Jungkook looked at them in disbelief. How did they even thought that he would give that place to some other woman in his or his son's life that has owned by you? He got up. I will raise my son by myself. This can never be possible and no other woman can take the place of Ian. No one is telling you to give Ian's place to anyone, Jungkook. Think about Jungsu. You might not see this because you have lost your wife, but that poor boy needs a mother. You can't give him a mother's love. I'm sorry, Mom and Dad, but I never thought you would even think about replacing my wife to some other woman. I don't want to ruin some other woman's life just for my selfishness, and I can never marry again. He walked away. He's not going to listen, she said, lowering her head as her eyes filled up. He's right in his place. It's not easy. Jungkook came in his room. He stayed there for some seconds, holding the doorknob before walking towards the crib where his son was sleeping. A tear escaped from his eyes when he saw how weak he has gotten. Most of the time he cries because he is not getting the love of his mother. You never let him cry, and he was such a healthy and bubbly child who now rarely eats and cries most of the time, which is affecting his health. He picked him up in his arms. It is still hard to imagine that she is not with us, right? I know you are also missing her. I'm sorry I'm becoming selfish. I know you need a mother. You need someone to give you that love, but I can't imagine someone else in the place of Ian. She's the only woman I gave my heart to. I promise to love her till my last breath, and I will only love her. I will raise you. Grandpa and Grandma is here. In few years you grow up. Let's get through this hard time together. He looked at his son. His heart was crying. Mrs. John came inside the room. Is he still sleeping? Jungkook turned towards her as she walked closer. He was awake for some time but again slept. She took him in her arms. It's not normal for kids around his age to sleep this much. He's losing a lot of weight. I'll take him to the doctor. Mrs. John looked at him. He needs a mother more than a doctor, Jungkook. Try to understand. Mom, I'm requesting you to not start this topic again and again. I can understand your concern, but how can you expect me to marry again when it's not even 5 months Ryan left us? I'm still in that pain and maybe always. I'm understanding your pain. We all are in that grievance, but we can't live like this forever. If you think it would be easy to raise this child alone, then you're wrong. I'm not telling you to replace Ryan, nor I'm saying you to forget her. Jungsu needs a mother, Jungkook. Please understand that. Omma, you are here to take care of him. I'm here for my son. He will be fine. Soon he'll start understanding things. You are saying as if you leave everything. Who will look after him when you go to work? And Jungkook, I won't be there always, right? What if someday I wasn't here? What would you do? Who will take care of him? You're only thinking from your point, but the truth is that no one can give him a mother's love except a mother herself. I'm not forcing you here, but I hope you'll consider it. She walked outside the room taking Jungsu. Jungkook's eyes fell on a big frame of you and his picture. He walked near it and caressed your photo with his fingers. Am I being too selfish? He's our son, but since you left all the responsibility on me, why they all are saying that I can't do that? I know I can never love him like you, but I can raise my son better than any other woman who will take the place of his mother in his life. Two months later, don't worry about him and take care of yourself. Drive safely. Jungkook nodded and kissed his son's forehead, who was playing on his grandma's lap.
in your mind 사랑이
Be a good boy and don't trouble grandma, okay? I'll be back soon. Mrs. John smiled. Our Jungsu has started to understand things. He's already a good boy, right, my boy? Jungsu was just playing without caring about what these people were saying.
바람결에 날리우
Jungkook looked at his mother. I'll leave now, Mom. I will try to come as soon as possible. She smiled and nodded. Good luck for your success. He nodded and kissed his son's hand one last time before leaving.
비가 오던 그날 그 순간
Jungkook came to Busan for a work purpose. It was already a day and he was staying at a countryside hotel. He remembered coming here with you few years ago before Jungsu was born. You used to like the countryside area more than the city life.
지나가던 그날 그 순간 잊을 수 없어 자꾸 떠올라 Close your eyes, close your ears 사랑이 느껴져 너를 잡지 못해도 안지 못해도 Love is you 햇살 속에 가려진 그리움이 내 마음을 전해주길 Love is the moment 비가 오던 그날 그 순간 두 눈에 맺혀 가슴에 맺혀 자꾸 떠올라 Oh, love is the moment 네가 가던 그날 그 순간 잊을 수
Jungkook quickly pulled the brakes when a girl came in the front. She came out of nowhere, but luckily he was quick enough to stop the car. But the moment he saw that girl's face, his heart dropped and eyes widened. He wasn't dreaming, but it was hard to believe that he was seeing you. She bowed few times and bent down, collecting the packets of candies that fell down along with the basket. He quickly came out of the car. Jungkook couldn't believe in his eyes that his wife is right in front of him. But how? How is this possible? Fine. A slow whisper left from his mouth. You looked at him and got up before apologizing. I'm so sorry, sir. I was in a hurry and didn't notice. Sorry for the trouble. A door of nearby shop opened, revealing an old man. Oh my god, what happened, Anna? Are you alright? Yes, Haraboji. He got up collecting your stuff and looked at Jungkook before bowing. I'm sorry once again. You picked the candy and extended towards him. He looked at you. He couldn't take his eyes off of you, and the fact you are not even recognizing him was the most surprising. Take it as a gift. These are handmade candies and taste so good. You're gonna like it. Jungkook slowly took the candy from your hand while you flashed him a beautiful smile. Have a good day, and he walked inside the store. He looked at the candy and slowly closed his fist. I need to find out. You can't forget everything like this. We need you, Vian. He rushed inside the shop. You got a little confused to see the same guy coming in your store. He looked around and his eyes fell on you. He came near while you smiled. Welcome, sir. How may I help you? Why are you pretending like not knowing me? Did you forget me? Do you know how much I and everyone is missing you? You frowned a little, completely clueless about whatever he's saying. I'm so sorry, sir. I didn't understand you. Suddenly that old man came there. What happened? Did you need any help, young man? Jungkook looked at him. His eyes were moist and body shaking as he was trying to control those emotions flooding inside him. It was hard to discriminate between. He was happy, sad, nervous, and afraid. Sir, can I ask you something, please? The old man nodded. He looked at you who was watching them. You were really surprised by Jungkook's behavior. Why did he call you Vian and why does this name sound familiar?
in your mind, 사랑이
Take care here. I'll be back soon. You nodded as they both walked towards the backside. What does he wanna know?
가려진데도 love is you.
Your wife? Jungkook took out his phone and showed him the picture of you, him, and your son together. The old man squinted his eyes to get a clear vision and he realized that Jungkook is right. I'm 100% sure she's my wife. We lost her in a car accident 7 months ago as her car fell in the river and we couldn't find her body. The old man looked at him and put his hand over Jungkook's to calm him. He was breathing heavily while telling all this. It can be possible and I trust you. Actually, I found Anna exactly 7 months ago near the shore of river. She was almost dead but luckily she survived. I tried to ask her what happened to her and how does she end up like that, but she had no answer. She seems to lost her memory. I can understand what has happened to you and your family. Thank you for saving her. I can never forget your kindness. The man smiled. No need to be thankful. Maybe things were destined to be like this, but don't worry. You can take your wife with yourself. I'll tell her everything. In fact, it would be better if you tell her everything. Jungkook wiped his tears. Thank you. Thank you so much. You looked at the picture and then at Jungkook. Is it really me? Jungkook nodded. He showed you so many pictures and there was no doubt he was telling the truth, but you still didn't remember anything. Let's go back home, Vian. There's nothing there without you. Our son, Jungsu, he needs you. Your eyes teared up. Jungsu? He nodded. Yes, your son. He's right, Vian. You looked at him when he also called you Vian instead of Anna. He nodded. Yes, child. You were Anna until no one knew about you, but now your husband is here. You have a whole family and they are missing you. You looked at Jungkook. Is this really? He nodded. Mr. and Mrs. John froze in their places when they saw you with Jungkook. It was like they were dreaming or hallucinating you. Mrs. John's eyes teared up. Jungkook held your hand and walked towards them. There were some memories flashed back in front of your eyes. You looked at Jungsu, who looked at you, his small hands clenched into fists as if he's calling you. Your eyes teared up. Vian, my Vian. She came and hugged you. You felt a warmth in her hug. Where were you? Tell me you are here for real. I'm not dreaming. He slowly hugged her back. You're not dreaming, Mama. She closed her eyes, letting her tears fall. She broke the hug and looked at you. Where were you all this time? What happened? I'll tell you everything later, Mom. Mr. John came near and smiled at you before handing you your son. It was a nightmare for our family. Happy to see you again, dear. You smiled and then looked at your son. You pulled him closer to your chest before closing your eyes, letting all the tears fall down. Jungkook wiped his tears and hugged both of you. The scene was so emotional. Finally, everything got better. Your arrival was unexpected, but it brought happiness in the house once again.
아무 말도 하지 말아요. 사랑이 그렇게 힘들게 하나요? 마음이 그렇게
Why you suddenly wanted to come here? Do you also start liking this place? Jungkook hugged you from back while looking at his son who was in your arms.
가슴 깊은 곳에 사나 봐. 마음이 아파와 지금도 나 네가 보고 싶나 봐. 아프고
I like everything that my wife likes, right son? Jungsu was trying to push him away with his little hands, making him stunned while you laughed. I think he doesn't want you to hug me. You are a child, okay? She's mine before anything, so I won't stop. I will hug her, kiss her, and whatever I want. Don't be jealous. You laughed. As if he is understanding you. Don't believe him. He's so cunning and smart, he said, pinching his nose lightly.
마음이 그렇게 너만 찾고 있나요? 차가운 바람에 너를 느껴 두 눈을 감고 널 생각해 좋았던 기억은 간직할게 가끔 꺼내어 볼게 아프고